and welcome. Welcome to the Tenaciously Resolute podcast. I'm Carice Nelson, your girl, and I am proud to present to you my new show. And I hope that you all will enjoy journeying with me as we discuss some topics that we don't normally talk about in a holistic manner. You know, oftentimes we tend to shove a lot of things under the carpet and then we don't speak about certain things because it may be taboo. But we're really going to be tuning in and really looking in a deeper way and in a more revealing manner at, you know, some of the spiritual topics and the environmental topics that impact our lives and the way that we grow and we operate in our space and the way that our children are being grown and have to also come into the space and navigate. We're going to be looking at business matters and how we could scale up and how we could develop positively, as well as social matters that impact us here locally as well as us here in the Caribbean. So journey with me as we discover what there is to life and what there is to podcasting. So welcome to my new show, and I am very honored to have you here with me. So I'm birthing this project on my birthday, and this is my little gift from me to you. So do enjoy our first episode. Guys, welcome back to the Tenaciously Resolute podcast. I have a good friend of mine here with me this afternoon, Mr. Jamal Morton. Jamal, just tell us a little bit about yourself for those that don't know.
All right, so Jamal Morton is the name. Born and raised in Tobago from Bagatelle, originally from Marysville, Bishop's High School, Scarborough Methodist, and now full-time entrepreneur, dreamer, everything in one.
All right. When you say dreamer, what dreams you're dreaming about? Because some of us don't know. No?
I have the wildest, craziest, biggest set of dreams I think anybody could have coming from Tobago, and I don't limit myself at all. To me, the saying is that you could only go as far as you see yourself now. So that's just how I live my life every day.
Absolutely, and that's a good way to think about things as well. So tell me a little bit about the BTD series.
Right, so it's Built to Donate, right? Literally is a NPO, a non-profit organization registered. So what we do, we get vehicles now that it's established and on the ground. A lot of people reach out to give us vehicles, literally. Would have thought in Trinidad and Tobago somebody could reach out to you, just give you a car, like literally.
Wow.
Right, so we take these vehicles, bring them up to we standard. I believe in Tobago especially, when it comes to fixing up a vehicle, aesthetic wise, nobody could touch me now.
But so.
Yeah, that's the confidence I believe I have in myself.
All right, so what do you mean by aesthetic wise? Print me a vision of what you mean by customizing and
thank you. So like I said, pimp my ride. I grew up on them things now, right?
All right.
So when it comes to passion and gift and purpose, anything I believe with cars, I believe I best start. So over the years, tested and proven, the vehicles I have built from scratch to how they came out, anybody could argue with me. Anybody who a challenge, that's all serious I could take it. I have been the best when it comes to dressing vehicles now. So I believe that our best start, so aside, cool. I believe that I'm a purpose. So let's see how best we can impact people's lives with it.
All right, excellent. So how many persons' lives have you so far impacted with this series?
Well, right now, we are on the third vehicle. We already gave away 2. We are, besides the vehicles, obviously we do a lot of work behind the scenes, a lot of blessing people. We take over stalls.
Really?
Yeah, we did about 2 groceries already. We take over the groceries and bless our people with free groceries. Whoever came in would get the groceries free. We take over Fruit King stall. We take over a few food places in town. Simple things here, but at the end of the day, it's touching people.
So all of this under the power of charity, or is there a bigger purpose?
Well, to me, like I say, right, I'm being real. The feeling you just get actually helping somebody who cannot help you back is priceless in a way. And with that in itself, it just feels so purposeful, right? So everything more or less is charity. It have no scheme, no scam, no catch it. It's just people coming on board or reaching wherever ways and just saying, hey Jimmy, let me do our thing.
All right, very nice. So this thing has so many potential benefits and it could truly touch the lives of others. How does that truly make you feel? since that you're coming from a place of generosity and, you're doing it from the goodness of your heart.
So money, as I say, right? Money does come, money does go. And to me, whoever you chase would always run away from you, right? So if you create value in what you're doing, bet your bottom dollar, people have no choice but to find you wherever it is, right? So people might look at money and say, that is my only objective, or that is my main goal, that kind of thing. You have to get rich, that kind of vibe. To me, like I say, once is God's will, is God's bill. So money, the resources, everything will find you whatever level it is. Once you're doing everything from the goodness of heart and it have no kind of ill intent behind it and everything purposeful and true, the blessings will be endless now. Definitely.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. So I could clearly see God has really been putting his hand over your life. How has that journey been for you spiritually, seeing that God got you?
Well, right. So COVID, as I said, this was a very tough period for a lot of people. And within then, obviously, you had the deaths in terms of our uncle and my grandfather. And, COVID was, when you die today, you had to bury within the next 2 days.
Exactly.
Close casket. You said, no, if it's the body they bury.
Yeah.
And that brought me to spaces like, look at how nothing material aspect-wise really don't matter now.
And life is so fragile. Life is
trunkier. It could go from 0 to 1,000 or 1,000 to 0, I should say, in the blink of an eye. So who is me not to at least try my best to impact a stranger or to get a kind of feeling and the fulfillment of seeing somebody cry because of your efforts or the time that you put behind something and be able to truly transform their life. It is amazing, trust me. The feeling 10 times over now, trust me on that.
So I know there's a lot of hard work that goes into renovating these vehicles. Kind of run me through what that process is like from finding it to bring it up to scratch.
Right. So anybody who knows about vehicles could tell you that this is not no easy feat or no easy task, right? However, I have a very reliable team around me. It might be the biggest team, but my team very, very reliable and very skillful. Right, so when we literally get a vehicle, so it might be a vehicle that people might say, I didn't feel I could wear this again. But no, we have people who have, or fortunate enough that have 3-4 vehicles in the home and not using it, and the vehicle's in very good condition. So it's just to get a little touch up. But when you get a derelict vehicle, you had to go through the process of organizing and getting it. You had to scrap it down to see exactly how bad the frame of the vehicle is. Then you have to do the patchwork. From the patchwork, then you might have to do the seats in terms of upholstering.
And probably even pulling it out and doing it over
then
fresh.
After that, you have to do so and get the parts in terms of changing suspension parts because you want a smooth drive. Then you might have to change the engine. All these kind of things now. But yeah, rims, tires, and the kind of standard I have, especially when it comes to these vehicles, that I have to get them to a certain quality now. But I like tipped-up things, especially with cars. So let us be tipped up when I've done it.
So quality and substance?
Every day, all day.
Right. All the time?
All day. All day.
All right, so what are some of the future plans for the BTD series?
Well, right now, we have 1,000,001 things. I have 1,000,001 cars. So within now my birthday, I'm October born on Libra, 5th of October, I should say. I want to see how much vehicles I could give away by now and then. I have one we're doing it right now in the pipeline, but I'll be 3 is a big number for me right now. All right, so I want to see if I could do by now in October at least 3 to 4 vehicles giveaway.
Okay.
By now in October.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So people probably wondering, what's the criteria to get through? Because,
Well, all right. So with us our criteria, right? And we can't just make it to any and everybody. So right now we on fathers. The vehicle before we did was for our mother in need. The vehicle we did before that was for our entrepreneur coming up. So we on the fathers, right? And we had this big debate in terms of me and my same partner. It's like the fathers don't really get nothing, or the fathers day not as substantial as Mother's Day now. So we said, cool, we're going to just focus on the fathers. So as for now, within the next 2-3 vehicles, as I say, most likely we're focusing on the fathers and them.
All right, well, that is very interesting, and that leads me to my next question. Do you think that in society, men are supported well enough, or you think...
That's a very good question. Men, we supposed to be the rock, or we supposed to be the providers, the main support system, but in truth and in fact, we just be the ones most times needing the most in terms of mental capacity, in terms of to actually deal with stuff. And we don't really get our support, I should say. A lot of times you would see people randomly going their way, especially men, and they're toting the whole a load in themselves now. And it's something a woman cry and a man cry. It's two different cries because people might more react, oh God, look at a lady, this, that, she need help. But the men literally need much more help to me than the females now. But I'm not saying females don't need it, but to me, how I see it, but men would deserve that kind of help and that kind of quality time to actually understand what we're going through.
Well, I know internationally the suicide rate for men is significantly higher than women.
So true.
Do you think that is an issue that men lack community, or is it just social support?
Social support, I would say. Yeah, social support, because as men and all, we don't like to speak out. Because if we come out and say certain things, but we come over as soft, or we come over as not true masculine now, so you might hardly hear a man cry or hardly hear a man come out and say, boy, this going on, because he might feel embarrassed or shame to even share that light about himself. It's like he come over as weak, he try to pull up our front as lay, I big and I strong now, so that is the difference where a female now might sit down and say, nah, boy, she really going through this, and everybody empathize. But men, we really, I don't know if it's a shame thing, most times it is, but to come out and really say we need help, to really come out as to say and say, nah, I need this kind of support now.
Well, I could really see that. But I think in a lot of ways, I think that is a level of comfortability along with privacy.
True.
That some of them might need. But what do you think about that? Do you think that we have enough spaces to allow men to feel comfortable in the case that we want to support mental health?
Nah. Well, in Trinidad and Tobago itself.
Then we look at Tobago, but we look at Trinidad after.
Well, I myself, I don't really know much spaces in terms of like facilities where people could actually come and reach. I know 1 and 2 in Tobago, no, because I'm dealing in this space now. However, I still find we could do much more. Yeah, it's supposed to have at least a lot of more outreach programs, especially for the young men. And we've seen how the crime rate, how all these things kind of going with the young men now. But so the easiest thing to do is the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And the father figures, the male figures who's supposed to be there to pull them up, or to even say, hey, I'm going through this, or you're going through that, reach out to me. We don't have that kind of level to say, well, all right, we can communicate here effectively. So we really need to do more now, trust me.
I totally get you. Do you think that, and you touched on crime, so I'm wondering, do you think that it correlates very heavily with the fact that in our local space, we don't have a lot of male leadership in homes? Do you think that is an impact or outflow, or is it just that we're just dealing with the repercussions of crime over a number of years and people just adapting to the lifestyle?
Well, even in terms of what I do in our careers, the easiest thing to spread on social media is negativity.
Yeah.
All right? The easiest thing to spread in our culture is bacchanal and pecan. So even when we was doing this whole thing in terms of, we say, boy, look at how much people, are wrong, that kind of thing, but to actually do something positive on social media, to see to come from young men, you don't really have that in terms of, you might expect a female or somebody to do it who have set our money, that kind of thing now. So we took a standpoint and say, but we could really come out and do something, and let be positive, let be impactful to come from young men, to even give the young men and them all a chance to say, if Jimmy doing it, I could do that too, because it's something positive. It's something that I could get into. It's not so far-fetched.
Yeah.
Because even in itself, it's like Usain Bolt. It's like Jamaica. It's like Trinidad and Tobago. Track and field in Jamaica is a huge thing. Because they have Usain Bolt and all these things to look up to, because they did it. So it's possible to them. But in Trinidad and Tobago, we might say, the government, as people might say, might take it serious or invest in it heavily, because it's not really a common thing for we to win. So in Trinidad and Tobago, people might see it as possible. But if I could come and say, all right, cool, I could do this for myself, and you know me, so it becomes possible to you to see and watch here, but I could do it and I could be something positive. So it's like putting yourself in that light, and it's not no influencer thing or anything for me, but it's just to show, what possible coming from youth itself now as young men coming from Tobago.
Do you think the positivity is contagious? Have you rubbed off on any of your friends?
1,000,001. 1,000,001. Even what I'm doing here right now, Caris, I just had to pinch myself. It's like how I don't no cameraman or no phone man. What we doing here, literally, we had hired somebody to do this, but we realized the person, it wasn't really fitting exactly what we are trying to do in terms of, so she no more in the background, but she helps a lot still now. So the car thing, as I say, is me. So that's why I come and push. Not really push, but my same business partner is like, Jimmy, you have to. And I get forced in front of the camera. But I'm not no cameraman or no social media person. But at the end of the day, like I say, it's purpose because people just literally just have no choice, as they say, but to share or like or whatever they just choose to do with the content itself now. But
well, I mean, most definitely. I mean, I, for one, when I saw one of the posts where someone would have received that car, I was like, wow, this is so amazing. In this economy, in this Boba season, people don't really give you things. And if they give you something, it may not necessarily be of high quality or of excellent standard. And to see that it wasn't just something that you just say, hey, take that.
Take your time, man.
It was something that was done purposefully and delivered excellently. I'm very certain that the reactions from persons who would have received would have been amazing. So what was that like?
Well, as me and my partners always say, their reaction is our pay. Right? So they don't have to spend no money, But once we could see that you cry genuinely or, we get that effect out of you, it has make our day, or it's more stuff to actually share to say, right, look at how this simple car could actually have somebody feeling, or look at you putting in this amount of work could actually have somebody feeling the reaction out of it now. But so in itself is like, yeah, all right, we might be doing this thing, and then people might say, all right, nah, that ain't hard to do. But really doing it in itself every day on a day-to-day basis, you become and you see the challenges, the obstacles, the Tobago resources so limited from time to time. But I always believe in positivity now, and I don't believe in go over season. I don't believe in hard times. I believe in choices. You understand? And I read now more than ever, and I believe in power of the tongue.
Absolutely.
I believe in all these things now, but once I claim it, I will achieve it. And
Absolutely.
If I set up my mind to do something, I respect your bottom dollar.
It gets done. It's finished.
By the hook or by the crook. I don't depend on nobody, or if God will provide now, and He does what show up in exceedingly abundance. Trust me on that.
I don't doubt you whatsoever.
I believe in it.
Nobody ever tell you must try God and see what He will do for you.
Thank you.
Sometimes it really requires you to really say it out your mouth, God,
Claim
I want to do this and that.
Claim it.
And this is the area I would like you to show up for me.
Claim it.
And I think people fail to understand that God really out here listening to you and looking at you especially,
Claim it.
To help you along, because at the end of the day, this thing that you're doing and what a lot of people are doing out here is very purposeful activities. It's not just, it's not just something you're just doing it for style and fashion and for talks.
Nah. You see, and as I always say, sooner or later you're going to see somebody, whether you're going to know exactly whether they're doing it for fame and fortune or it's something purposeful. You can't hide that for too long, if you understand what I'm saying. And you see, when you don't have no attachment to anything, like when you detach from the outcome, trust me, that's when it see results now. Boy. If you just post something out there and every minute you check in to see, oh God, I wonder if it's here, I wonder if this
True.
Trust me, that creates like you're attached to it, so that is lacking itself now.
Yeah.
But once you have a detachment, I would post something now and don't check my phone for the next hour.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I don't have no attachment to it because I'm not trying to seek fame. I'm not trying to seek fortune. It has come. Because to me, it's like it's destined now. Yeah, trust me on that.
Yeah, I do believe that. But Jimmy, as a young person, to know, you would have ever thought that you would have been in this
Never happened.
life?
Never happened. I swear, life have a way of working out so funny. Because from me, right, I was a soldier. I was in the regiment for 4.5 years. And obviously, my family, mother was a police, father was a soldier, brother is a fireman, right? So it was like everybody had to be a service person. And I followed that path, and I realized when I went there, I thank God for the teaching, the practices, the discipline itself. But when I realized I wanted more, I had to do more. And it just brought you back to yourself. It's like, boy, what to do next? And I left army and opened a car wash. And my father and my mother literally real close on me.
Hey.
Close on me because them say you leave army to wash car. You had to be a madman. I'm telling you, most of my family is like, that makes sense. You live in a whole steady income. What about your pension? What about this? What about that? And to me, it's like, nah, boy, I always see myself different. You know, I always sit on a flip side of the coin. And for today, Caris, I telling you, now if you hear my parents talk about me,
real proud.
Boy,
I could imagine.
Proud is an understatement. Anything I do now, I could go and sell ice to the Eskimo, they're behind me. Because they know it's something fruitful now, boy. So it just goes to show you have to have that belief in yourself.
Yeah.
You have to believe.
If you don't really go behind your dream, nobody would ever believe it for you.
At all. So you have to have that belief and that push. You have to be able to take the steps now, boy. God will give you the vision.
Yeah.
But you have to take them first 2 steps, and obviously you go show the staircase after now, boy.
So let me ask you this question, and I'm leaning into your spiritual side. Is there a scripture that you hold there?
To me, faith without works is dead. Yeah, that one of my main scriptures. I always tell myself, like, Jimmy, everybody know me, I consider myself to be a doer. Regardless. I could have no budget or a budget. Whatever I want, whatever I see, I'm making it happen. Right? So you had to put in the work. Definitely. Don't say nothing good comes easy. And people might say I had to work hard for everything. To me, that is false. Because I never see a rich donkey yet.
That's true.
Right? Hard work. Yeah, it might pay whatever be the case, but that could only get you so far because you're trading time for money. Create value. Once you create value in something, Caris, trust me, the money, the resources, the people will find you.
Okay, so there's a lot of young people that don't have a clue what creating value means. Explain what that means to you.
So creating value to me is like you have a product, make it the best product. You could be selling a stone, make it the most valuable and precious stone in Trinidad and Tobago. You're providing a service, make it the best and most efficient service in Trinidad and Tobago. And people have no choice. They can be behind God back. They will find you now. Once you have a valuable product, people will want to indulge. And we're living in social media space now. Everybody can make a post. So once people see that now, people are trying this thing. People are up with it. So the product itself becomes valuable and the service becomes so valuable. People have no choice but to follow, but to come and indulge. So create something and be the best at perfect your craft.
Excellent. So I want to know, how do you think that people would react to the change in dynamics? You started off with one vehicle, you then moved into giving away groceries. You're still amping up production in terms of how many. Do you think that people are supporting just on social media, or are they showing up?
Right, so you could have 1 million followers, right? And literally broke in real life. You could have 1,000 followers and you could be very wealthy in life. So to me, social media, yes, everybody might comment, everybody might say it's so thoughtful, whatever be the case. But literally behind the scenes, Caris, I just get a push. Like the real movers and the shakers, there's really say, Jimmy boy, we want to do this. And everybody, you know, most times they're just looking for a stream to pass the blessings through. Everybody does give tithes, offerings, wherever it be the case. So everybody, once you have money, you gotta feel like, nah boy, I really had to be able to bless somebody or give back. So they might see me now as a vessel to say, hey Jimmy, I want to do X, Y, Z. You come up with the idea and the content and you bless the amount of people. So you don't have no one stream or one way down the river I want to do it. Once I blessing people, that's all that matters. So if I could go buy penny savers tomorrow with a bullhorn and jump on the counter and say everybody groceries free, that's the kind of vibes I want to be.
Okay, so what inspired that? What inspired that?
Mr. Beast.
Well, right, okay.
Mr. Beast. I'm a Mr. Beast fan. And his name is Jimmy Nabe.
Really?
So, yeah, real talk. So I telling you, it's to me and my mother too. Boy. My mother has given she last. So I don't know if it fall from she to me, but I just see it as, boy, if I could help somebody and behind the scenes anybody who knows me, I would give you my shirt off of my back and go home bareback. But once you comfortable and once you happy, that is what does make me sleep good at night now. Boy. I have no problem with sacrificing for anybody. You understand what I'm saying? I believe in not just gift to get, but at the end of the day, if you could put people in a position that you could be able to say, hey, you have a platform now, you could be able to bless somebody else, you could push now, at the end of the day, just that feeling itself, that has given us so much momentum now, babe. And to me, that's what the energy and the vibes is, trust me.
So I know that despite our challenges that we have in terms of how people feel in terms of people may think that things are like negative and so on. Do you think that we can engender this type of behavior in the young people coming up?
Very good question again. You can't save everybody.
We know this. You could try, but you're going to fail. But we going to try for the maximum.
You can't save everybody. So I just always say, if you impact that one individual life, that's all that matters. You understand what I'm saying? One person, forget the likes and the fame, as I say. I go walk through town, and somebody go randomly pull me over and pray for me. Or somebody go randomly pull me over and say, hey, nah, you can't pay for lunch today. This lunch free on me.
Yeah.
So that, to me, that is influence. That is impact. And that would just give me the momentum, as I say. So, yes, it might have the generation coming up. The young might be, the Trinidad, the whatever be the case. However, it still have a good feeling. It still have a good crop. So, and everybody now have social media. Everybody have devices in their hands. So if somebody decide to say, hey, I want to choose the bad road, you could still try with them. But at the end of the day, you can't save everybody, as I say. So whoever had to come carries will come.
Yeah.
Whoever had to be positive will be positive. If you're negative, at the end of the day, I'll still try. However, I can't kill myself to at least try to save you, because I have my dreams and my aspirations to bring out, to manifest, I should say. So at the end of the day, I just live my life by one step, one person, one individual at a time.
Do you think you have found your purpose?
Definitely. I could do this for the rest of my life. I don't know how. I literally don't know how. But trust me, Carrie, so everybody, even my closest friends, Christopher, Carlos, they be like, Jimmy boy, how? Since when you turn this way, but my mind is like, boy, now I can't stop. This will just keep me up at night. I have in my books, if you see I have a book right now with my life, my journals. I just got that with my life. I had that in a safe. I don't have money in the safe. But you see that book?
Yeah.
Trust me, when I up 3 o'clock with my thoughts, Harry's watch, but this just keep me what I could do next, what doing next. Alright, cool. And people might have in their birthdays, it's like, yeah boy, I had to buy this, I had to do this for myself.
Yeah.
Nah. How much people I could bless on my birthday?
That
is
the
so
kind of
amazing. Vibe. Yeah, I tell you. That is the vibes I want to push right through, I swear.
That is so amazing. The thing about it is, I'm thinking back to you when we were in uni, UWI Open Campus, and I'm looking at you now, and I'm like, look at how much change has occurred, and it's not just that. It's not a physical change, because Jimmy look the same. There's not much physical change, but the mental change is so incredible. It's showing me that things have not just progressed, but you have grown.
For real.
Spiritually, mentally, in your chosen field of occupation, and with your BTD series. So I just want you to end with a few words of encouragement to probably people out here that may have similar thoughts like the ones that you have in terms of being charitable.
So my biggest thing, as I tell anybody, forget the $1,000, forget the 10,000. Start with the resources you have available to you. Could be the $5, could be the $2, and it's not necessarily you just going out and give somebody, but in terms of making your dreams come true.
Yeah.
So take the steps necessary right now with the resources that you have available to you right now at this point in time, and make that work towards whatever dream, whatever vision you're trying to pursue. All things are possible. ALL.
Absolutely.
The only thing that limits you is your mind. You could do anything, be anything. I just always say, people from the Philippines growing up right now, no phone, no current, no water. And these are the people coming out and be the movers and the shakers in the economies across the globe. So we have no excuses. You understand what I'm saying? So get up and do something for yourself that your future self will be proud of.
Excellent. So guys, that was Mr. because he grew now, Mr. Jimmy Morton.
Correct.
And we just want to say thank you from us here at Tenaciously Resolute podcast for coming on board and
anytime
coming on set, because we really appreciate the way that you look at life and the impact that you have been making, right? And we pray that God continues to favor and bless you.
Receive it.
Right? And that you go forward in strength and in purpose.
Receive it every day.
Nice. So from us here at the Tenaciously Resolute podcast, we bid you an excellent day and a week. Take care.